live on location right now. This is my series of exposing Anthony Mcginty of Ulster County, New York, Ulster County of Family Court, which is the proper business name for the private for-profit business called Family Court. However, we are covering the entire state of New York, and as you invite your friends list right now, you're going to have to take your thing and mute it. Sorry. We have... Hi everybody, welcome to Punish for Protecting live broadcast. There's going to be a series of videos. Right now we are focusing on the administrator, which they call a judge in Ulster County, New York, Anthony Mcginty. But remember, what we're doing is covering the entire nation. Thank you for watching, and share this with your friends list, and let's make these continually go viral as they are. So thankful for that. And I'm here on location. I'm here in front of this beautiful Christmas tree at Tammy's house right now. The reason I'm showing this, and the reason I came here, and I have other victims today, I'll be traveling today across the state of New York, interviewing families that are victims of Anthony Mcginty. And I'm going to continue to push this. That's what I'm doing. This is my Christmas present to you, New York. I am going to expose this man and every single judge in the state of New York, and then we're going to take this nation back for our families. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I drove out here to Kerhonkson, New York. And I know that you guys didn't get to hear this yesterday, so I figured what I do is I just go on location to their homes and let these families tell their stories. And I just found out about another father that he just put in jail for arrears and child support, and the children are over 30 years old. Okay, this man is just off the charts, and I'm now currently waiting on the district attorney's office in Ulster County to start working with us again, because we will get him off that bench and we will get him in jail. Not just this judge, my friends, every single judge that has done this abuse to families. I, as you can tell, am sick and tired of it. Sick and tired of it. We work too hard. Good families everywhere. I get to see their children. I get to look at the paperwork. I get to look at the medical forensic reports. I get to look at all the different things that go on. I see the bruises. I see the emotional scarring. I see the trauma to these families. I see the abuse to these families every single day. I talk to all of you. I know what's going on, as many of you know what's going on in this country as we are focusing on the state of New York. So thank you guys for just sharing this like wildfire at this point. We need to get the word spread. Right now what I'm doing is I'm pulling all the front leader advocates across social media that have a huge social media presence, and I'm pulling them together, and I'm also having them tag team with other strong advocates in their states, and we're coming together as one mighty force. Because you know what's going to win this, everybody? One very strong thing that's the biggest weapon we have, and that's the weapon of love. That's what's going to win what's happening against these psychopaths that are harming families. And I just found out that Governor Cuomo now is trying to pass a bill to give doctors the chance to euthanize our families. Yes, you heard it right. This is what's happening in the state of New York. So without further ado, guys, thank you for continuing to invite your friends list. Here I have Tammy. I'm going to switch this camera over to her. Tammy, say hi. She just came out of the hospital.
Yeah, I'm
Tammy.
Feeling pretty rough.
Yeah, and Tammy, why don't you tell a little bit about what's going on, honey? And I've been here before, at your house. We actually had a live here, less than 2 years ago, I think.
I ended up having a stroke. I've been fighting the judge from giving visitation to their father since, I don't know, October. No, before
October of
the last
2017 though, right? Or
no, this year.
2018. And then you and 2019 rather. And
the last court proceeding for the visitation nonsense was September 12th of 2019. And they ended up giving him one day, Sunday from 9 to 5, unsupervised visits. They started out with supervised visits, and he didn't show up.
So they started out with supervised visits because he's being investigated. Let's tell them
No,
not yet.
That was before the sexual abuse.
Okay, so before the sexual abuse
came after he gave him visitation.
Okay, so let's go to the supervised visits part. They had to have a reason for giving him supervised. What was that? Do you know?
His drug use, the stack like this of domestic violence, which It's all right here in this.
Tam.
This is all my court stuff. Sorry. All my court stuff. This was all the paperwork that had the judge that
So
awarded
some of these are the domestic
family offense.
I see the
Yeah,
family
that
offenses.
was him. That was because he threw my dog.
He threw your dog.
He threw my dog and broke her hip, and she had to go.
So he threw your dog and broke your dog's hip, and your dog is no longer here.
That was when I was pregnant for Emily.
Okay, so he has a history of severe abuse.
Yeah.
Has he been arrested for this abuse?
Numerous times.
And has he been convicted for this abuse?
He's been in jail for it, just against me and my son. Within this pile of papers, there's numerous stay-away orders that were ordered. The judge that did the family offense proceeding, which was before we went to be in front of Mcginty, had issued a stay-away order, a full stay-away order
To protect the children.
to protect myself and my 2 girls and my son and our pets.
So I can vouch for that, because in 2016, Mcginty took my son off the only protection order he finally got for safety. Mcginty took it off without a blink of an eye, left me on it to protect me, but not the child. What does that tell you? And this is what's led you to. We'll show them your neck right now. Show them what's going on there.
When I had to have surgery, vascular surgery, I went in this past Friday and was released yesterday. I had a stroke Monday.
And when was court?
Court was December 12th.
And you had the
very
stroke
day after my birthday.
Yes.
I had the stroke before my birthday. And
you can keep going. You had the stroke the day after your birthday, and you what do you call it? And he knew about the stroke, right?
Mcginty knew about the stroke. The hospital had sent them
A fax?
sent the court fax and email.
That's right. And then you contacted me.
And
You
my
had the
lawyer had asked for an adjournment,
Right.
and he denied it.
So he denied. Now this man's been in trouble with the appellate court before, because he's denied one particular mother. I didn't even have an attorney when he did what he did to me, but he denied one mother of having an attorney and took her child. And then in your case, you had an attorney. That attorney requested an adjournment. You're in Vassar Hospital with a stroke.
Yeah.
They faxed him the medical report that you had a stroke, correct?
Yeah.
And what did he do? What did Anthony
held
Mcginty do?
court anyway, he didn't care.
He held court
and
anyway.
Turned around and gave custody, which wasn't even part of the question. Wasn't even part of the petition. I petitioned the court because
For
my
safeguards.
daughter was bleeding rectally after a visit that she had with her father. And I took her to the emergency room. They had said that they needed to do a colonoscopy, that I needed to follow up with her pediatrician, which I did the very next day. And they had given us a referral to a pediatric, what do you call it, GI doctor.
Right, the
specialist.
pediatric.
So I called them and got the appointment, which was probably a week and a half to 2 weeks after making the appointment,
Right.
because of their availability and scheduling. Took her for the first appointment, and then they scheduled the colonoscopy, which was another week and a half, 2 weeks away.
Right.
And when they finally did do the colonoscopy, the results for that was that there was nothing medically causing her to bleed.
Okay, so he's under investigation for
Yeah.
this, and he's under investigation. McGinty, or not McGinty, I'm sorry, the children's father.
Yeah.
And so McGinty just handed them over to him. No safeguards whatsoever.
Not at all.
Talk about where their school is and where he's located and the school bus and the car situation.
He lives in Kingston. I live in Kerhonkson.
So there's schools here.
40 minutes to get here from Kingston, where
So
he
there's
lives.
no bus service there, obviously.
The school will not transport.
Right. Of course not that
from
far.
Kingston to Kerhonkson, which thank God they can't.
And he has no car.
He's got no car.
Or
His
license.
license was taken away for DWI years before I even met him.
Okay, and he's still, is he aware? Is McGinty aware? He should have done his due diligence, but is he aware of
He
this?
threw my sister out of the court room
Yep.
because she was telling him
And he threw her out.
that he doesn't have a place for the girls to live at.
He doesn't care
and
about that, though. He doesn't care about
He
children.
does not have a way to get them back and forth to school.
And he didn't care.
And McGinty threw my sister out of the...
Did the child's attorney try to step up?
The child's attorney objected, as well did mine.
Wow.
Because of the open investigation through
They actually
CPS
defended you.
and
That's
everything.
shocking. They normally don't, but
Yeah.
good for them.
I mean...
I give credit where it's due. And he still turned your children over.
And he still did that.
It's absolutely crazy. And so the hospital staff was in awe. They were upset.
I was a wreck. I could
course.
not get to that school fast enough. I mean,
So let's go talk about that now, Mom. This is called Super Mom here. Mothers and fathers, you know what this is like when you're a loving parent. Look at this mom now. She's literally just had an operation like we're showing you here on her neck. She had a stroke because of what's been going on, because she's been trying to protect her girls. And she's here today not feeling well at all, but she really wanted to tell her story. He did this right before Christmas. This is not the only case. I'm going to be literally going house to house. It's beautiful, though. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
What was that?
And so now you contacted me. I'm like, please calm down. I was worried about you. You said you felt like you were going to have a heart attack at this point.
I was going to have a heart attack.
Against the doctor's orders, you left.
I was not going to let their father get my girls by himself. Was not. I didn't give a shit what that judge
But
said.
this is what they're doing. They don't care. And then what they do is they threaten innocent parents who protect their children from vile acts of abuse to children. And they threaten you that they'll put you in jail if you don't follow their order. That order takes precedence over common sense. Their order takes precedence over morals. Their order takes precedence over safety of children. What's going on in this country?
Nothing good. Not in this standpoint.
So tell everybody again what judge is doing this to you.
Anthony Mcginty.
And who else did we talk to together not that long ago?
We've gone to Cuomo's office.
Well, you guys went to Cuomo. I didn't get to go to Cuomo, but where did I go
Or
with
not
you?
Cuomo's office.
Cahill.
Cahill's office.
Kevin Cahill's office.
Kevin Cahill's office.
So they're aware?
They're aware. They weren't aware of the stroke and that...
Right. He knows it now. They know it now because I immediately contacted them.
Yeah, that's what I said, that you've already put complaints in on my behalf before I even left the hospital.
Yeah.
And thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. We have to get this sicko off that bench. First of all, he's there more than 10 years, which is even against their own fake laws. And as we know, the courts have never been voted in. The courts are never voted in by the people. And so, so this is happening all over our country. Tammy is one of millions of families. Imagine having a stroke and a judge giving your children to somebody he's very well aware of has these major issues and that is unsafe for children. What is CPS for if judges force you to not protect your children? I just had a mother today.
I went to CPS that Friday after leaving the hospital against medical advice. And they told me that there was nothing that they could do, that it's a court order. First, the woman... which was the one that was here.
The one that I dealt with.
She said, well, let me talk to my supervisor because this is not good. And
okay.
She was like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
So
well,
she that was good.
In the back room. And then came back out, 20 minutes later and said that there's nothing that they can do, that it's a court order about the custody being given to them, and that I'd have to deal with it like that. That if it wasn't an an open investigation through CPS already, that they would be able to do something about it and to issue a stay-away order on the father's behalf. But because he's being investigated, that's what she said.
Wow,
that
it's just
they
all
could
backwards.
Not do anything.
It's all
about
backwards.
it. And
It's all backwards.
It's a shame.
What did
I
the
mean,
medical staff at Vassar Hospital say to you, the doctors and so on, about what just occurred in that courtroom and how you had no due process?
They were upset. The doctors that were like directly taking care of me on that floor was absolutely amazing. They paid for the cab ride home.
They're amazing.
And everything.
God bless them.
And even made it so that it wasn't technically AMA, even though it was, because they didn't want me to leave.
Right.
But there was no way in hell I was staying.
And then you had to go back. But hold on, Tammy. So this is what a mother does. She just has a stroke and has to leave a hospital in a taxi cab to ensure that her children are safe because of a judge ordering. Hello, everybody. Isn't this what we're fighting every day? Why are we allowing this as a nation? Listen, if I'm going to be here every day sacrificing 3 years of no work to fight for your families, I need you guys to support me like you never have before. Any way possible that you can support what we're doing. Okay, that means spread the word, tell everybody, give as much attention on this as possible for families like Tammy, that nobody has to continue to suffer like this. Children shouldn't be forced into the hands of abusers or into the hands of foster care strangers and grow up in this country the way that these children are growing up in our country. This is sick what's going on, and it's been going on, and it needs to stop. And the only way we're going to stop it is if we full force come together and make this stop. I will be continuing to work till Christmas Eve day, all day with consultations, helping families in the state of New York and the entire country, Florida, California, Tennessee, Wyoming, Indiana, you name it. I've got families coming to me with the same crazy stories over and over again. Why are these judges making these orders? Because people never voted it in, and they're not doing it to protect your families. It's a money-making, profiteering off of trafficking your children and your families, and your kids have no safety in this country. Neither do you, neither does Tammy. This woman had to leave a hospital after having a stroke that stroke was caused by Judge Anthony Mcginty. Stay tuned, because I'm going to be at different houses today with more families. Can everybody be wrong? No, there's one person wrong, and that's Judge Anthony Mcginty, Ulster County of Family Court.